Okay, we're going to find slope between 2 points today, and I want you to just try to formulate how we discover slope between 2 points. If I wanted to identify the slope between the following 2 points, I'm really saying how fast is my height changing. So I need to know how my height changed. My height changes represented right here. Well, to find out how that changed, any change, you take a difference. Change represents a difference. A difference is usually represented with the new number minus the original number, okay? So to find my difference in y, I take whatever this y was. This happened to be my second y. Then I take, whatever my first y was, and I subtract them. That y with the little 2, we say y's of 2. Y's of 2. Second y, y's of 2. So to find out what this distance is, I go y's of 2, take away the first y. It's going to tell me how much I went up or down. And then to see how my x changed, I have to look at this area here. To calculate that change, I usually do the new x, which would be my second x, x of 2. That's my new one. Take away my first x, y, x of 1. Slope is, again, rise over run. Everything is related to rise over run. Rise is y, run is x. When we take that difference, it's finally explained as second y, take away your first y, over your second x, take away first x. In mathematical terms, you say y's of 2 minus y's of 1 over x of 2 minus x of 1. So to find the slope between these 2 points, I would say this is my first x, this is my first y, second x, second y. So I rise over run. Again, remember, it's rise over run. To determine my change in my height, I do my second y, which is 5, minus my first y. What's my first y? 2 over second x. What's my second x? 6 over my first x. 4. 5 minus 2 is 3. 6 minus 4 is 2. The slope of that line would be 3 halves. Up 3 over 2. Up 3 over 2. Okay? The next line contains these 2 points. What would the slope of the line be? Second y, take away the first y. X, y, x, y. See how my y changed? New minus the original. Over my second x, take away my first x. What happens with minus a negative? Yep, 2 over 8, 1/4. The slope of that line would be 1/4. Up 1 over 4. Up 1 over 4. Everything is always really related to a line on a graph. Just sometimes you're not given the graph. Some students like to create a graph and plot these points and then determine. That's just a lot of work, and I would never suggest you doing that. It would take way more work to make a graph and determine the slope that way. Okay, again, xy, xy. Y's of 2. Which one's my second y?
2.
Minus
6.
over
3
minus
plus 1.
minus a negative 1. Negative 4 over 4, which is a negative 1. And if I can make it a whole number, I make it a whole number. I don't do negative 1 over 1. But it is really, truly negative 1 over 1. We try to just hide that 1 if we can. Okay? Second y, take away the first, over second x, take away the first x. What's that? 2 over negative 5. Don't put the negative Negative on the bottom, negative is related to a line going down. That's what negative is related to. A line going down represents my height decreasing. So although this is negative, you need to just visualize negative as just going down a hill. Down a hill would be the y. What we usually do is just stick it to the left. You just stick it out from there and put it to the left. Negative 2/5. It just means you're going down. Negative means going down.
Put it in the middle.
Put it in the middle or on top, something. I don't like it down here because kids write the graph wrong that way. They usually will end up writing an increasing graph. Okay. Then we have special slopes. We talked about this yesterday. Whoops. And the special slopes would be the zero slope that we talked about and the undefined slope that we talked about. Undefined means that you would not be able to go up or down it. Zero means that you're not increasing at all. Okay? Zero means that you're not going up or down, you're just going over. And that would mean the zero is on top. Your rise is zero. 0 over some kind of number, let's say 5. Okay? So if I had, let's make a point here, and if I use that point and the slope, it's saying rise up 0 over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's my line. Pretend it's perfect. It's a straight line. I'm going up 0. I'm not doing anything. I can ski or climb that. Undefined, the 0 is on the bottom. So you would have something like this, 5 over 0. So it means go up, now let's just make a point, here's a point, means go up 5 over 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 0. I actually have a vertical line. Vertical line is undefined. I cannot climb or ski that. Your expectation for your homework today, if you have a 0 or undefined slope between 2 points, you need to be able to identify it and write it down. Okay, so you'd write 0 or undefined. I had a student last hour that had a great question. He said, if I have 1 over 0 or 0 over 1, isn't it just 0? Can I just write 0? And that is not the case. If you think about it like this, 12 over 6, and think way back in elementary school, this is saying how many groups. That's what division is, how many groups. Do you agree with me? Yeah, how many groups of 6 are in 12? There's 2 groups of 6. How many groups of 1 are in nothing? None. There are no groups of 1 in nothing. How many groups of 0 are in 1? You can't. There are no groups of 0. Okay? There can't be anything. It's undefined. So you would say undefined because you have something. Okay? No, it's not infinite. Okay, you have something, and it's saying how many zeros are in something. There isn't any zeros in it. If you punch it in your calculator, I have, if I go 0 divided by 1, I get 0. If I go 1 divided by 0, it says error. You can't do it, okay? It gets stressed out over it. So it's undefined in all life. It's still 0. Okay, so here we go. Let's apply this. Y's of 2 minus y's of 1 over x of 2 minus x of 1. Negative 2 minus a negative turns to 0 because it's negative 2 plus 2 over negative 2. I have a 0. The 0 is on top. That means it's a 0 slope. Y minus the y over x minus the x. 5 over 0 is undefined. 0's on the bottom. line, yes. And you can think of that logically too by rise over run. You rise up 0, you run over 2, well, you're going to be a horizontal line, okay? If you rose up 5 and went over nothing, you're vertical. Okay, you can think of it that way too.